Hello, hello. This is the host with the most, your man, Darren M. Palmer. So excited to be with you for the Texas Black Expo Author Spotlight Edition. And I have here, yes, the one and only, my girl, Joyce Johnson on here. You know who she is, the author and sales champion is online today. And also, she is the woman who was able to partner with us, and we partnered with her to bring this extravagant event with the all-star lineup of authors for this year's Texas Black Expo for the Author Spotlight. So Joyce, I just want to this is behind the scenes, and that's what we're going to keep it as. So I just want to just tell you, thank you so much for coming on. And, just share a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go into the Texas Black Expo part.
All righty. Again, I am Joyce Johnson, author, sales champion, motivational speaker. I grew up in Galveston, Texas, just 45 minutes south of Houston. And I grew up in that community, moved to Houston, graduated from Prairie A&M University, went and got my master's MBA in global management, and decided one day that I'd always been a journalism student in high school. Decided one day I wanted to go ahead and publish that book. Met this guy here, Darren Palmer, helped me make it happen. Yes, he did. And I am just so excited to be here and to share with you about what we're doing at the Texas Black Expo.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joyce. And we were able to connect. I'm telling you, we've been making moves ever since we've connected. It went way past what I thought it would have went as far as with the connection that we had. And I just want those who are tuned in, who are thinking to yourselves, like, why should I show up for the Author Spotlight? You know, some of you might have that question that's in your mind, in the back of your mind. Hey, I don't even, how do I get started? Where would I start? What would I need to do first? Well, I got a manuscript, but who would edit it? Or, some of you don't even know authors at all. And I'm preaching to the choir here, because I've been in a situation that I didn't know any authors. So, some of you who are listening to this is why you need to show up for the Author Spotlight, where you'll be able to meet an all-star panel of authors that will be there, that will be able to encourage you, will be able to give you the tangible steps that you need to be able to share your story with the world. And, Joyce, could you share with the audience why you think it's important for them to show up June 8th and 9th at the George R. Brown Convention Center for the Author Spotlight?
A lot of folks post on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere, motivational speakers from all over the world, right? And they say, come and see me, and I'm going to be in Houston for a day, and really send a representative. Here you're going to actually get to network with and see authors and people that are everyday people like yourself and myself, and maybe not you, but like me. And this girl that grew up in a small town, Galveston, Texas, very small place, and was able to live out my dreams, to be able to find a profession that I love and to do things that I love. And then one day, be able to share that skill set and that story with others, right? That I didn't have someone to share that with me. My family, I mentioned to you before, was in a medical profession, and I didn't have someone to mentor me, right? And I definitely didn't have anyone to mentor me for writing a book until I met you. And so by coming out to Texas Black Expo, you get to meet real people just like yourself, who have an idea, who have a story to tell, and need to get it out. I mean, sometimes you just need to get it out so that you can free yourself of it in some cases. And you're going to be able to meet us in the flesh. And so you're going to be able to meet real authors, real people, real struggles, real stories, and be able to share your story and learn how you can get it out there as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joyce. And one reason I'm glad that we had a sales champion on is because she really is about that life. And what I mean when I say that is that she's a living example of what it is to get a book done and utilize it in your workplace or on your career path, to allow for it to be, a catalyst to help you go to a new level. So many people just think that, well, I'm not a speaker, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. Who said that you could only utilize the book if you think you're the next Zig Ziglar or something like that, or Tony Robbins? That's not the case. So whether it's a gentleman, and I have to share this story, of a young man that I know who, you know, he had a biology degree and he's not a speaker at all. He had a quote book out of all things, a quote book with a biology degree, but he went into a meeting so he could be closer to his college sweetheart. And he went into the interview, told the people, HR department, as a token of my appreciation, I would like to give you my new publication for you taking time out your schedule to meet with me. Guess who was a finalist for that position? He was. Guess who got the position? He did. And they gave him a moving bonus, and his salary increased by 15 grand per year on top of what he was already making. And he had also incentives that he was able to make for his bonuses. And by the way, him and the young lady are actually married now. They was engaging in marriage. Now, so when you're thinking about how do I utilize a book, what's separating you from the rest of the marketplace or from your colleagues? So that's what we want to explore more in detail at the Texas Black Expo, June 8th and 9th for the Author Spotlight, where we will share with you the B-squared method, book to business method, or book to ministry method. If we have those who are in that realm or whatnot who want to learn
how to sales method.
There you go. And that's why we had the sales champion on. So sales champion, share with how it's a game changer by you being an author and how that has helped you increase sales or be looked at differently amongst your peers.
So as a national account manager, which is really a corporate sales manager, right? I manage corporate relationships for my company. So I talk to all the national people, the C-level folks, the E-level folks, and then, prepare a strategy and roll that out to the field. And I can see where a lot of them go in and they view my LinkedIn and they actually mention it when I'm in meetings with them, right? And then with some of the sellers that support me and I support them, I should say, they've actually followed me. So I go into my company headquarters one day and a seller's sitting there and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Joyce Johnson." And I'm like, okay, is she kidding right now? Like, she's like, "I follow you on LinkedIn. I read all your stuff." And she's like, "And I ordered your books." And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I felt so overwhelmed. And I felt so blessed, And, I'm always throw something out there, Darren. So I woke up this morning with the song, "God's Been So Good to Me," on my mind and my heart. And when I met that young lady and she said that, you have no idea how she made my day, right? And it was just that now people see me as the expert, which I've always been, but now I've put it in writing. I've put it in a book format. I've been able to share with some of my vendors and things who maybe didn't have a good sales skill. I've given them a copy of my book and I've signed it. "Hey, I'm gonna get my book," and I autographed it for them. And they've actually read it. And I've seen where their sales skills have improved. And they've told me that it's improved by what I've shared with them. So it's also helped me not only get that out there and get, to the public, right? And my babies, my college students, educate them. But it's also helped me professionally where people see me as an expert. They respect what I know. They respect now what I tell them. It's not like I'm bobbing and weaving, all the time when I'm trying to communicate with them. They're actually listening and they're engaged because they feel that since I've published these books that, oh, well, she must know what she's talking about.
And that's what you need. When we talk about culture and making sure that you're leading by example and it's servant leadership, because it's one thing to just say something one time or bark at someone, but being able to, like she shared, autograph it and leave it with you, tangible steps on how to get it done, how to get results. And I love the content that Joyce produces because we actually use her materials here at our office or whatnot for our team members. So, I mean, it's great content. And I'm not just saying that because she's here. I mean, it's really great content where I'm the type of person that I invest heavily, especially into sales and having the understanding how to lead and connect with individuals. And when I read her, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like I'm sharing with them, like, Joyce, this can compete with anything on the market because I know, because I'm buying it. I'm buying it. So I don't have to, not just be honest, I spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on personal development. So I know great content when I say, so I'm reading this, I'm like, ooh, oh, I'm just writing notes. I'm having them moments. I'm like, oh, look at this. I got the book all marked up. And I'm like, hey, you know what? We're going to have to take this way. Everybody who come in. And for those who are listening to this, if you are a business owner or if you are a leader or you're in a management role, whatever it is, make sure that you get this for your team. You know, we'll make sure that we have information in the show notes how to you be able to get a book or whatnot. But order this for your team, or even look at getting Joyce to come in to help your team, because I'm not just saying this just to say it, but it's actually great content. You know, reach out, contact, or show up June 8th and 9th at the George O. Brown Convention Center for the Author Spotlight. So, you know, Joyce, with you being an author, and you have shown some of the feedback that you've gotten, also the opportunities, the doors that have been open, also the impact. What do you hope to do moving forward, far as leveraging the content that you have, and also the books that you have put out? What do you hope to continue to do with what you've already done for the future?
You know, I want to get out there and speak more, right? I get a lot of invites. I get a lot of emails, you know, from different recruiters and companies and what have you. But again, my goal is to educate the masses, right? I think the sales profession is just an awesome place to be. As I said before, no matter what you study, what degree you have, you can take those transferable skills and you can go out and get a sales job, earn a really good income, and live your best life. And I want to let people know about the sales profession, right? So my goal now this year is to just build up my speaking engagements, to get out there in front of more people and to be able to share my story, you know, and I have a story where I'm telling people about sales and how they can live their best life. And I do that by saying, you know, let me share with you a story about a young lady named Joyce and how sales saved her. Because sales actually saved me. And as when so many people leave college and they don't really know where they're going to do, although they've had this degree or what have you, I know what that feels like. Even when you're transitioning through life and you've done a good job in a role and then that company lays off or go bankrupt, I know what that feels like. Then when you go out on your own in business because the company's laying off so much, because I've been a business owner, again, I know what that feels like. And then someone coming back into the corporate realm, I understand what that feels like. So I feel I have multiple stories to share. There will be more books out there, right, to talk about that. But again, I want to share with them my story because it's very relatable. And I want to help them be able to find a place for them to land and ultimately live their best life.
I'm telling you, it's like Campbell's soup. It's good. I'm telling you, that was hey, that was
good. I love some chicken noodle soup.
Good. That's it.
Yes.
If y'all want to hear more about Joyce's story, I want you to show up to hear her in person, June 8th and 9th. Make sure that you come, be prepared, get you some books. Hey, all those graduates out there, it's that season. So if you thinking, hey, how do I give this young person, or they're graduating, well, how can I give them a hand up instead of a handout? Definitely you want to make sure that you purchase and get some of the content, or let me say purchase, invest and get some of the content, get the publication that Joyce has for her books, because I'm telling you, that individual will be above the rest of their class or their peers by having the content that Joyce has in her books. Also, make sure that you come and get a selfie, get a pic, connect with her, be able to hear her speak as well, because she will be there June 8th and 9th at the George R. Brown Center for the Author Spotlight. And I want to bring up something because, I mean, Joyce really, when she said save your life, I can identify with the sales part because it saved my life as well. And so I just want those who are listening, don't allow for individuals to put in your mind the old school sleazy car salesman mind, you know, picture in your mind when it comes to sales, you know, because if you don't have sales, you don't have business, you don't have schools, you don't have anything. If you can't get the legislation passed or you don't get the right funding, whether you're a nonprofit or for-profit, whatever it may be, somebody got to sell something. Somebody got to take an idea and get it out there to the masses. So some of you are shackled And we want you to be freed from that, to know that you can sell and be a type of person of, the actual real salesperson is a person of integrity, of someone who can be liked and trusted and have a product or service that's good. If I had a lackluster type of product or service, then me and Joyce wouldn't be partnering for the Author Spotlight with the Texas Black Expo. So we wouldn't have a connection. We wouldn't have did multiple book projects together if it wasn't a trust and a bond and we both weren't professional. So I want you to take that out of your mind. I just felt that I had to say that because I know some of you are listening, Joyce, but is it any other way but sales? And really realize that that's hindering you, where you could position yourself to be in control of your destiny, but yet and still you're getting positions that can be, as soon as the robots or whatnot come out, which they're already here, if you just look at Amazon or whatnot, you could be phased out of a job or position. So, Joyce, if you don't mind, just share with that person on the mindset of sales, if you don't mind, before we get out of here, because I know some people are struggling with it.
I was sharing people 8 out of 10 jobs that college students have or people have in the world, the top 10 jobs, paying jobs, I should say, the top 8 of the top 10 paying jobs are sales jobs, right? I want people to be very, very clear on that. My niece said today, I'm going to take a real estate class. Say, that's sales. That's very tough sales. That's a lot of hard work. Is sales. In my book, Why Sales for College Students, it talks about being a bank loan officer. That's a sales job. A recruiter, that's a sales job. They have targets, have things to do. They have numbers to meet. They have commissions to get. There's so many different sales jobs. Customer service, in a lot of cases, sales, right? So as I mentioned, you got the real estate person, the recruiter, the college admissions counselor. That's a sales job. There's so many jobs that are disguised under other titles, but really they're sales jobs. So I need everyone to understand what sales really is. And it's not just a job that says sales, but there's jobs that don't say sales, but absolutely 100% they're sales jobs, right? And so when you come out to Texas Black Expo in June, I'm not just going to talk to you about sales, right? I have on my heart to really share my personal story with you guys, which a lot of times I don't share. I'm educating people on sales and things like that, but I want to really share my personal story to sales and the different things that I experienced with sales. And like I said before, how sales saved me, right? But I really want you to understand there's so many jobs out there that are sales, and everything begins and ends with a sale, period. It begins and ends with sales. If you're going to make up your own hair product, if you want to be a business owner of your own, you're going to sell, you got to sell yourself. You got to sell your idea. You got to sell your product, your brand, everything about that business. You got to go out and sell it, and you got to be consistent with it. And as you said earlier, you have to become trustworthy, because people buy from people they like and that they trust.
Ooh. Hey, we can't give you the safe right now. You have to show up June 8th and 9th for the Author Spotlight. We will be at the George R. Brown Convention Center. We look forward to connecting with each and every one of you there, where we will go. We're going to open it up. We're going to open it up. You heard what Joyce, she said she's going to get personal with you, not just some verbiage that's going to help you with sales. You'll get that too.
Yes,
but
get that too.
That personal, that one-on-one, that connection that you will get there. So any last words, Joyce, before we get out of here?
And also, our why, right? Your why, my why we're doing Author Spotlight at Texas Black Expo. This opportunity came to Darren and myself to be able to speak. He was nominated for the Social Media Guru and how he promotes his business. Myself as a sales guru and some of the things that I do in the community. And we could have just gone on stage and done this ourselves, right? We could have promoted Joyce and Darren and kept the party going. But we really wanted to share this experience with other authors. I'm getting choked up. We really wanted to share this experience with other authors. We wanted to share this experience with other people. We wanted to allow other people to share their story. And we wanted to have you, the audience, hear these stories and be able to learn from them, and to hopefully be able to impact or tell you or have something that you learn about your life that would make your life better. So this is so much greater. Darren and I realize it's so much greater than Darren and Joyce. And that's why we included other people in this. We could have just went on there and did our own thing, but we wanted to include other people. We wanted it to be community-based, and we wanted to be able to share so that we can continue to educate other people and help them grow and to be able to expand within their family and take care of their family and you know, grow their personal brand. So I really hope that everyone will come out and join us.
Great, great, Joyce. And I just want to just leave with this because Joyce opened this up, what she just shared in that last comment. Make sure that you don't celebrate and don't hate. Be open to opening doors for others, because what you'll find is doors will be open for you. And that's what Joyce just shared. We were willing to not only open doors for other people, but the gentleman who started the Texas Black Expo, we were willing to partner with him as well.
Yes.
You know, Mr. Jerome Love. And so I just want you, for those out there who Lonesome Dove, the old cowboy movie, I know I'm dating with my grandmother and watching.
Yeah.
But for those who are the Lone Ranger and all that, you know, whoever you are, that you got to be by yourself, you don't understand. And we're going to talk about this at the Texas Black Expo Author Spotlight as well, of the importance of partnership, the power of partnership. And if you just want to do your own thing, you know, of course, me and Joyce could have just said, hey, you know what, we're going to go to Embassy Suites or the Marriott and just book us a room and do an event. But why not invest in somebody else's dream? And why not, you know, that was his dream of doing the Texas Black Expo, is open up doors for so many other people. We partner with that. We're bringing other people to the brand who didn't even know about the brand as well. And it allows for us to serve, also open doors for us to connect with other individuals as well. So it's a lot, it's quite a bit of lessons in life and business, period, that you'll be learning from me and Joyce and the others that will be there as well. So make sure that you come out June 8th and 9th to the George R. Brown Convention Center for the Author Spotlight. So Joyce, I just want to thank you again for coming on. And I look forward to partnering with you and connecting with you to help change lives June 8th and 9th at the George R. Brown Convention Center for the Author Spotlight.
Thank you.
Until next time, remember that this is the year for your new book. If you won't change, be the change. Be blessed and be great.